My dear students, I am here to give you a valuable information relating to upcoming examination. Okay, this video belongs to day before exam strategy for income tax subject, applicable for CA Inter September 2025. Okay, so without wasting the time, directly come to the main point. My dear students, I give you some general instructions. Please be follow carefully. First one is, my dear students, forget about the previous exams, whether you performed well or not. Don't think about the previous exams. Okay, so relax some time, then immediately start the preparation for next exam. Okay, and one more important point, my dear students, don't use the cell phones in this crucial time because it will consume your valuable time. Okay, these are the general instructions, my dear students. And next point is subject related points, my dear students. Please listen carefully. The first one is income tax is a problematic subject. You know very well about that. There is no importance in theory part in your question paper. Compulsory, there is no importance in theory question. Don't spend this last preparation. Don't spend the time for preparation of theory part. So it will not be helpful to you because no question is there in your question paper as the theory except one question. So we'll give you one question as theory question, that too from 99% cases have been taken from written off income chapter. So if you want, please verify it once, at least half an hour. Written off income chapter itself is highly sufficient for theory purpose. Okay. So next one is don't try to prepare every chapter in this crucial time because time is very less, my dear students. Don't try to prepare every chapter. Please select important chapters and important topics in each and every chapter. Only concentrate on those. Okay, otherwise the time is not sufficient. Otherwise you will get some confusion about it. Okay, don't try to read every provision and every chapter in your syllabus. Okay, select important chapters. I give you the list of chapters which are very important in exam point of view. Just wait. Please concentrate more on those selected topics and selected chapters. Okay. Next one is don't try to solve the problems in written, my dear students. The time is very less, so that can't try to solve every problem and every provision relating to your income tax subject in written. It will consume your valuable time. Just verify the answer with respect to verify the problem with respect to the answer. Okay, so that you can prepare more number of problems and more number of chapters. So these are the important techniques you have to follow while preparing just before the examination. Okay, so next one, my dear student, the main point is preparation strategy. Important point it is. Please concentrate more. So here list of chapters. The chapters, we have around 16 chapters in your syllabus. Use syllabus, it is income tax subject. So it's practically impossible to verify all the chapters involved in your syllabus. So that I was classified the chapters as 3 categories. So as prioritization basis in exam point of view. Okay, so that please concentrate more on category 1 chapters. Okay, so list of chapters given in category 1, set off and carry forward, residential status, my dear students, residential status 1 and 2 combinedly, you can prepare combinedly. Okay, written off income chapter, total income, TDS and TCS, income from house property and clubbing provisions. My dear students, please be prepared all these chapters as category 1. Prioritize, give priority first. All these chapters covered in category 1. Okay. Why? Because, my dear students, how many number of chapters covered in category 1? Around 7 chapters covered in. You will get at least 6 questions from these chapters covered in category 1 in exam point of view. At least prepare all the chapters involved in category 1. Enough, highly enough, my dear students. Okay, important chapters and easy to prepare because majority of chapters are very small chapters. Okay, so that you will get at least 6 questions from category 1 chapters. Please concentrate more on category 1 chapters. Okay, next one is category 2, salaries, capital gain, PGBP, other sources, debentures. deductions chapter. My dear students, other sources don't try to prepare the entire chapter, just enough to prepare gift concept, gift related problems. Those are very important. Okay, and these chapters were given in category 2, important, but it's a time consuming chapters. Okay, better not to prepare the entire chapter covered in category 2 because it's very time consuming, because lengthy chapters, salaries, capital gain, PGBP are the biggest chapters in your syllabus. Deductions also a biggest chapter. So please select some important topics or problems itself enough to prepare only problems in these chapters. Okay, don't try to prepare the entire chapter. It will consume your valuable time. But important exam point of view, you will get at least 3 questions out of these chapters. You will get at least 3 questions out of these chapters in category 2. Okay, but time consuming, but concentrate as a category 2 is a second priority. After completing first priority questions, then give the second priority to these chapters, then prepare some selected topics in these chapters, at least gift concept in other sources, and the deductions, some most valuable sections are there in deductions. Please be concentrated. 80C important, 80D, 80E interest on education loan, 80G donation related payment, TTA, TTB interest income related payments, 80DD dependent disabled person. Some important sections are there in deductions chapter. Please be concentrate at least more on some selected sections involved in each and every chapter covered in category 2. Okay, so you will get at least 3 questions out of this. Next, all other chapters was provided in as category 3 chapters, but unimportant, you can skip these chapters. Okay, so you will get at least 1 question out of this, but selected topics, better to prepare at least some selected topics in other chapters. I give you one important topic in exemptions chapter, composite activities important, tea, coffee, rubber. Prepare at least tea, coffee, rubber related question, at least 1 question relating to composite activity, tea, coffee, rubber related. It's the most important concept. It is compulsory, you need to prepare at least 1 question. Okay, and in deductions chapter 10AA section, my dear student, don't neglect 10AA related problem, special economic zone covered in deductions chapter. Please be prepared at least 1 problem relating to 10AA. Individual very important it is. Okay, so these are the chapters I have provided in 3 different categories. Please be concentrate more on category 1 chapters, less on category 2 chapters, and select some selected topics in category 3. Okay, so please be follow this prioritization of chapters involved in your income tax syllabus. Next, my dear students, 4th point, which is also very important. My dear student, the first question in your question paper, it's from total income chapter, 15 marks. But the majority of students have failed to solve this problem perfectly because of lack of knowledge about the subject. If you want to solve this problem correctly, you compulsory have a comprehensive knowledge of entire subject. So that is the big task in this problem. So my dear students, I was provided here some important points to be remembered in your mind while solving the total income problem. The first one is, if total income, if problem involved agricultural income, if total income problem included agricultural income, then compulsory you have to calculate the tax liability by using aggregation method. Please verify the aggregation method. Aggregation method, you need to apply the aggregation method. Based on that method, you have to calculate the tax liability. Okay, that is one of the important point you have to remember while solving the total income problem. Please observe whether agricultural income involved or not. If it was involved, then need to apply aggregation method. That is subject to 2 conditions. One is minimum agricultural income exceed 5,000. Non-agricultural income exceed basic exemption. Then only aggregation method is applicable. Otherwise, no need. You can directly calculate tax liability on non-agricultural income if these 2 conditions were not satisfied. Okay, so and this method is not applicable to other than individual HCF is nothing but persons who are liable to pay tax at flat rates or need not follow the aggregation method, have no effect even if it was followed. Have you understood? So please verify concentrately whether agricultural income was involved or not, and if it exceed 5,000 or not. Please verify it. If it exceed 5,000, then need to calculate the tax liability by using aggregation method. Please go and verify the aggregation method at least once. Next important point, my dear students, if problem include any of these deductions, 35 AD, 10 AA, chapter 6A heading C is nothing but QQB, RRB, JJAA. If problem involved any of these three sections, compulsory you have to apply AMT concept. AMT concept will be applied. 115 JC. Compulsory you need to apply AMT concept. They never asked to apply AMT concept. You yourself identified whether AMT is applicable or not. How to identify it? This is the technique. If problem contains information about deduction under section 35 AD, 10 AA, chapter 6 heading C, if any one of these sections involved in total income problem, compulsory you need to apply AMT concept. Next one is, if total income just exceed the border is nothing but surcharge applicability border, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crores, 5 crores, 10 crores. Then you need to apply marginal relief concept automatically. They never ask to apply marginal relief concept. Yourself to identify whether marginal relief is applicable, available or not. How to identify? Just the after computation of total income, please check whether it just exceed 50 lakhs. Nothing but 50 lakhs, 51 lakh, 52, 53. Or 1 crore, 1 lakh, 1 crore 2, 1 crore 3, 2 crore, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Just exceed the border. Just exceed the prescribed limits. The limits is nothing but specified here. Then you need to apply marginal relief concept automatically. Please go and verify marginal relief. How to apply, when it will be applied. Compulsory you have to verify it carefully. The last one is, my dear students, if they ask to calculate the tax liability on most beneficial method. They ask to calculate the tax liability on most beneficial method. Compulsory you need to solve the problem in both default tax regime and optional tax regime. Compulsory. And suggest which one is beneficial to assessee. That is one of the important observation. All these are keep in mind while solving the problems, my dear students. While solving the mainly total income, my dear students. So important point. Optional tax regime is nothing but alternate words, opt out or shift out. Or old tax regime. Have you understood? Opt out or shift out or old tax regime. These are the techniques and these are the important points keep in mind while solving the total income, my dear students. So finally, paper pattern, my dear student, this is the estimated paper pattern subject to some changes. Okay. So taxation paper is for 100 marks. So divided into two parts. Part 1 income tax, part 2 GST. Okay. Part 1 income tax again classified into two divisions. Division A, MCQs, Division B, descriptive part. MCQs 15 marks, descriptive 45 marks. Total 60 marks, 10 marks is a choice. You need to answer for 50 marks. Okay. So MCQs 15 marks. MCQs 15 marks is a compulsory. No choice for this. Descriptive 45 marks again contains 4 different questions. Question number 1 for 15 marks. Question number 2, 3, 4, 10 marks. Again 2, 3, 4 questions contains 2 different sub questions. 6 plus 4 or 4 plus 4 plus 2. Whatever they want. Compulsory every question number 2, 3, 4 contains 2 different or 3 different sub questions. Okay. So total weightage of each question except first question. First question 15 marks guarantee from total income chapter. Mandatory. Remaining 3 questions, they have been taken from any area, but each question contains 2 different, they will check 2 different chapters in one question. Okay. So, and one more important point is, out of question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, you need to answer any 2. Out of these 3, one question is the choice. Okay. This is the estimated paper pattern, my dear students, subject to some changes. And one more important point, my dear students, MCQs mainly they have been providing as a scenario based type. MCQs will be provided scenario based. Don't bother, my dear students. Scenario based MCQ is nothing but just a total income problem. They will provide a total income problem, but you have to answer the MCQs on parts. Just you have to prepare more number of total income problems. It's highly helpful to you to answer the scenario based question. Scenario is nothing but total income. Entire total income problem will be provided. Ask the different questions as MCQs. So don't try to prepare any scenario based separately in this crucial time, but better to concentrate more on total income chapter. Total income, more and more problems you have to prepare. So as maximum as possible. Then you will get some clarity about how to answer the scenario questions. Okay, that is one of the important one. My dear students, in this crucial time, I give you one suggestion, that is don't try to prepare PGBP again separately in this crucial time, because every PGBP adjustment was covered in total income problems. So you can prepare directly total income. Need not prepare PGBP, completely kept aside PGBP, because whatever the adjustments given in PGBP again was provided in total income problems. So that you have to prepare only total income problems again and again, and more number of problems, enough. Okay, so this is the information, my dear students. Keep in mind carefully while preparing while in last preparation, that is just before exam preparation. Okay, so let's close here. Thank you, my dear students. All the best.
Okay, my dear students, now we are going to discuss about day before exam strategy with respect to our CA Inter. So, before starting this particular video, remember, ma'am, these topics are the most crucial ones. I am not saying that please read these things only, but keep it in mind while reading the chapters in our GST. You need to keep focus on these crucial areas in order to get a very good marks, at least out of our 50 marks, including MCQs, at least you will get 30 marks minimum from these areas if you are able to thoroughly follow my particular video. Let's, without any delay, start the concept, ma'am. Supply under GST. In this, the most important areas you need to keep focus day before exam is, ma'am, with respect to this import of service and demood supplies, that is 7.1c, and negative list 7.2. I think, in my opinion, negative list is going to be asked definitely in this particular exam, because amendments are there in 7 subsection 2. And along with that, in supply chapter, some circulars are there. So whatever the circulars that are there, please keep focus on those circulars also along with these conceptual areas. So this is with respect to supply chapter. And with respect to levy and collection of GST, that is charge of GST is another name. In 9.3, that means RCM related, there are few areas that are important like GTA, legal services, government services, directors, sponsorship, author to the publisher, security services, renting of passenger vehicle, and along with that, if you ask me, I will add another point also here. Renting of residential dwelling for residential purpose. Okay, this is also the another area you need to keep focus with respect to this day before exam. And 9.5 ECO, there are only few areas you need to read them. And in section 10, the important areas will be sublimits for the services. Like 10.1 and 10.2, that means along with supply of the goods, is it possible to make the supply of service or not? If at all supply of service is possible, how much we can do that, like that, those sublimits. And can opt for composition scheme for 1 unit or not. If you want to go for composition scheme, go for all or go for none, like that. And a negative list of composition scheme, that means who are the persons that are ineligible, and exit from composition scheme, that means how to withdraw from the composition scheme, and what is the definition of aggregate turnover. These are the important areas you need to keep focused in the case of levy and collection of GST. And with respect to exemptions from GST, the areas you need to, these are the most important areas you need to keep focus ma. Charitable activities, agriculture, education services, legal services, health services, passenger transportation, goods transport, government related, artist performance. So these are the important areas you need to keep more focus in the exemptions chapter. And with respect to time and value of supply, 12.2 FCM, 12.3 RCM with respect to goods, and 13.2, 13.3 with respect to services, and 15.2 inclusions, and 15.3 exclusions. So these are the in value of supply. These are actually with respect to time of supply. Okay, important areas. Generally, input tax credit, I prefer not to take any choice, but if at all time is very constrained day before, that's why you need to keep focused on these areas like 16.2. What are the conditions for claiming the IDC? And blocked credits as per 17.5. 18 subsection 1, claiming of IDC in special circumstances. And 18.6, sell it as a second-hand capital good. Along with that, Rule 86A plus Rule 86B, these two also you can study. And registration chapter, the most important areas will be 22, 23, 24. And along these three, practical questions will be asked in these areas. Rule 10A also. And along with that, you need to keep focus on 29 and 30. Section 29 and section 30, these two areas, theory questions can be asked. Okay. Now come to tax invoice, debit notes, credit notes and e-way bill chapter. Debit note and credit note topic you need to see, and delivery challan, when e-way bill is required, when you are exempted from e-way bill, who is required to generate the e-way bill, what are the parts of e-way bill, and all these details with respect to e-way bill you can study. And apart from that, if you want me to ask bill of supply is another area you can focus, and revised tax invoice also you can focus on those areas, and receipt voucher and refund voucher, and e-invoicing. In invoice, not every topic is important, but invoice you need to read only when it is required, what are the exemptions or relaxations regarding them. So these are the important areas you need to keep focus in case of this tax invoice chapter. And with respect to payment of tax, electronic cash ledger and section 50, interest computation, these are the two areas. Along with that, in the liability register, order of discharge, you need to keep another focus. With respect to returns, the important areas will be due date of the returns and the payments, late fee. These are the most important areas. Along with that, GSTR 1A and GSTR 3B and QRMP scheme. These are the another areas you can study. And TDS and TCS, who is required or not required to deduct TDS and TCS is important areas. Place of supply, the important sections will be section 10 total you need to study, 12.3, 12.6, 12.7, 12.8, 12.9, 12.10. These are the most important areas in services related place of supply. Accounts and records, the important area will be 36, retention of accounts. So these are the important areas. Day before exam, you need to keep more focus. Thank you.